Welcome to the Therapist After Dark podcast. Ever wonder what happens when the therapy session is over? Well, we're digging into the funny, heartwarming, and surprising stories therapists have after they leave the office. Join us, two mental health professionals, every week for a dose of laughter, a touch of drama, and maybe a few shocking revelations, because therapists are people too.
Sorry. Current kerfuffle is I want to travel the world, but I don't have the time.
Yeah. And to travel the way that I want to travel, I don't have the resources.
Yeah, same. I was gonna say time and money, but I don't want you guys to think I'm broke.
You ain't broke, girl, but
I ain't rich. I'm a therapist.
I'm a therapist.
You want to donate?
Actually, we're going to set up a little donation center if
Go
you'd
fund
like.
me.
Please. Thank you. A little, what do you call those things? Oh shoot. not an OnlyFans.
I've almost made one.
Were we going to sell feet pictures?
Pictures on my face. Not like naked, but like, I'm a cute.
You are cute.
I got it. You can't tell me this part again, but like,
Yeah,
I got a little snatched little body.
Yeah, body, yaddy, yaddy.
I'm a twig, you know. I was a twig my whole life, so I deserve the snatchiness now.
So you were going to start an OnlyFans. When was this?
2 years ago. I was fucking broke.
Man. What stopped you?
My career.
Damn, being a therapist.
Yeah.
Blocking all my feet picture money.
No, my feet are hideous. So like that's not even like a dig. Like I don't say that like in a mean way towards myself. It's just the fact.
Well, you just wear socks or whatever. Do sock puppets with you.
I was gonna do a cute little pajama series. Like just wear cute little sexy PJs.
You had it all figured out. Did you have the business plan?
Maybe. I made an account. I never posted.
You made an account?
Oh my! So close.
What was it called? What were you called yourself?
I don't remember. It's years ago.
Oh my gosh, you guys! This is the first time I've ever heard this.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, this economy. Sometimes you just need to sell a little something
Mm-hmm.
in a way that feels very, congruent and safe.
Yeah, it was gonna be like this cute, like cozy, like it wasn't. But then I was like, who's gonna pay money for that? Because I'm not showing
creeps.
Yeah, but I'm not showing anything like
they will still pay. I saw on this TikTok the other day, this girl, she was like, I may be a 6, but I'm rolling in 6 figures a month because I sell swim videos on OnlyFans. Swim videos. All she does is just swim. Just goes for a swim.
Like a backstroke.
Whatever. Yeah.
Butterfly.
I guess so. She does it all. A breaststroke.
Is that a breaststroke? I don't even know.
No, I don't know. Just picking it up. But yeah, so she's bringing it in. Mm-hmm.
Imagine you have a therapist and they're on OnlyFans.
That actually, well, no, it wasn't a therapist. I saw on the news, it was like some kid's mom had an OnlyFans account, and then somehow maybe one of the parents or something found it, which, I mean, if they found it, then the parent was clearly on the OnlyFans site. So like, why are we just, hating on the mom? Clearly she needed to make money for her kid, or whatever. And so
or herself to travel the world.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
yeah.
You have a kid, so
we'll do both. I don't know. And so, yeah, so she had her OnlyFans account, and then I don't know what happened because of it, but I think there was like some kerfuffles for sure.
Well, then you also hear the opposite of like younger people and then like their parents or parents' friends finding it.
Yeah, that would be really, really, really weird. Oh,
yeah.
I just feel like the only thing about things like that is like, are you doing something that you will feel okay with in the future? Because right now we know that like technology, these videos last forever. So kind of like a tattoo, like if you're going to make a video, are you okay with it still being on your body, on your social media body, in 50 years from now? And like, are you okay to have those conversations with your children? Like, yes, I used to do sexy pajama dances for men all around the world.
Coming from the girl who is actually afraid to be sexy.
It's true. You really don't sell it, but that's why I love you so much, because that's how all my like closest friends are. No one's like really ostentatious. Not that that's a problem,
right?
But I think because we're just like cute but like awkward a little bit, and so we just don't sell up the cuteness,
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a little bit more than brief. I really thought it out. I had it all ready to go, and I was like, no.
Oh my god,
there's better ways to make money, like open my own private practice.
But how much money could you have made?
Yeah. I know. But I feel like
Oh, so this is a good question. Like, do you think married couples should do OnlyFans, but separate, not together?
not my husband.
If my husband ever.
Just the
Yeah, if he even let, yeah, oh my gosh. So my husband has this beard, and when I first met him, it was like a foot long. Now it's probably like 6 inches. But when we would go to bars, like girls would try to put their hands in his beard, and he would be like, "Ah, nope, you can't. My wife will kill you. Like, don't do it." Or my fiance girlfriend, yeah, she would be bobbing and weaving around these girls. And the reason why I would kill the bitch because I know how I was when I was single and I was touching all the beards. So I know what you bitches are trying to do. Do not touch his beard. I'll kill you.
So I think that answers the question for you. Would you, as a married couple?
Oh no. Like I don't even, yeah, maybe I think if times got really hard, then maybe if we did something together, but nothing like sexual together. Like that would be really weird. I couldn't do that. But like maybe we both wear socks and like touch toes or something and I could sell, then great.
I love that that is what your idea of OnlyFans is.
Yeah, like feet pictures, because I feel like it's the most, like it's the least, well, to me, it's like the least sexy part of a body and the less just like the least descript. So yeah, I mean, why not sell a foot pick or two? If you're gonna make $100,000 in 3 days?
If I had nice feet, I would.
I think I have a cute left foot, but the right foot could use some work. You know what I mean?
My feet literally need surgery.
Oh, but maybe that's cute for them. We don't know. OnlyFans is like a fetish place, I feel like. It's for people who want who am I to judge? I've never seen it. I've never been on it. So, all you OnlyFans honeys and viewers, go get you some. Live your best life.
Yeah, and think of me when you're on there.
Like, oh, it's so
All
cute.
the money I missed out on.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, we do have another question today. I have no idea how we got on this topic.
Sometimes do you worry that people will see this and be like, I do not ever want this person to be my therapist?
Seriously. I know. Every time I listen back to some of our episodes, I'm like, huh, I wonder the perception, but do I care? No, not really. I feel like the people who are meant to be with us either won't listen to this podcast at all,
Right.
or they'll love us because of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the second question that we got was actually from another LCSW.
Cool.
So licensed clinical social worker.
Thank you.
And she said, like, maybe you guys could talk a little bit about like how you set up expectations and boundaries, especially if you were to like run into a client outside of therapy. And not even just that, like if they were with someone else, how do you keep it confidential? And we kind of touched on this a little bit before,
right?
But I think like the way that she worded that, like, especially if someone's out with someone that they're with and they recognize you, like, how do you handle that?
I'm just trying to relate it to my experience now. I'm living in the town that I work in.
Yeah.
A lot of my teens will run up to me like, "This is my therapist."
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
A lot of the adults kind of ignore me.
Fair.
Fine.
Yep.
And they know that I'm not going to say hi unless they say hi.
Yep.
So
that's the expectation.
Right. That's the expectation for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's important to like set that up front. So your therapist should say that up front. Like, if I ever see you, this should be like in the first little like intake form. If I ever see you out,
right.
Like, just know that I won't say hi unless you acknowledge me. And even then, like, it'll just be like first name basis unless you decide to introduce me as your therapist.
Yeah.
But there are all these clear expectations around that.
Actually, I had a client the other day say, "Oh, I saw you and Chewy." So Chewy's my dog, and he's very recognizable. So people tend to recognize me because of the dog, really, first. Because when I'm walking downtown and with my dog, I'm in like these kind of clothes and like hat, I'm like kind of like incognito. But they're like, oh, I almost rolled down the window and said, hi, Chewy. And I was like, thank you for not doing that because he would have ripped my arm off. So like I have because like he thinks he wants to get in the car because like he recognizes all my clients.
Oh, because he's always there. That's
Yes.
wild. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Like I
Well,
was walking.
he's gonna break confidentiality.
I know. Well, I was walking the other day and he starts pulling. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. He starts like pulling me. I'm like, what? There's a client. He went right up to the client. I'm like, Joey, you can't do that, bud. And then like startled the client. But I was like, hi, sorry. So like I have to almost add that layer.
Yeah.
It's my dog.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
Well, and it's nice to have him in there too, because like sometimes he can be so grounding for the client. So it's like he's gonna be in here and he may recognize you. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sign this waiver.
Yeah. Right. Right. And he does. He recognizes them. It's actually really cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've always like set up boundaries. And thankfully, like now it's a lot harder for me to run into my clients because I'm virtual. So I don't really ever see them. But before, especially when they when they're kind of like what you said about like teens are a little bit more open, the adults are like a little bit more closed off, but like I like honestly I would just even ignore them for the most part unless they saw me. Like I would say like, okay, I see them. And I even do this now even with intakes because especially here on the island, because it is such a small space, like the people that I've had intakes with, even if they were never my clients, I still won't acknowledge them out unless they come to me. But what's really funny, I'll have some people come up to me. I've never really worked with them, but they've either seen it because like I'm so virtual, right? So they've seen a video of mine or they've like seen like something, right? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, Brittany, like I'm so grateful for you. I'm so thankful that you're like doing this work and I'm so like whatever. And this is not to like sell myself or pump my tires. The intention is to say that like I'm so caught off guard by it because like I some of these people I don't know at all. Like I've never actually met them or I've had like a phone call with them, but I never saw their face. And they'll just come up to me and be like, I saw your videos and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Like I'm glad it helped you. Like I just get so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Like I'm glad it helped you. That's all I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about really implementing the boundaries as soon as you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and especially if they're with someone else too. Like I definitely don't want to like out anybody. I basically treat it like like I just don't want to out you. I'm not going to out you, so I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm not even here.
Well, and because I work in the town that I work in the town that I live in, right? And because also like I hate to keep bringing up Chewy, but he's such like a Newport
he's a Newport dog for sure.
Yeah, I just have to just say he's the most beautiful German Shepherd you ever seen.
You should go follow him on Good Boy Chewy.
The Good Boy Chewy.
Boy spelled BOY.
Like people literally like when the tourists come to the town that I live in, people stop. They stop me and they take pictures with my dog. They push me out of the way and they take pictures with my dog. People stop their cars. They roll their window down. I just people are always yelling, Chewy, Chewy. I'm like, who are you? But long story short, all this to say, one of my clients the other day was like, oh, like one of my friends knows you because of Chewy.
Oh, funny. That's cute.
Because my dog used to have play dates with their dog, with their friend's dog. Oh my God. So I was like, this is a little weird for me. Yeah.
You're a local celebrity. You just got to own it. You're also an art gallery owner. So people may have your art in their house.
Yeah.
And they're also your clients. So like, it's just going to be, that's what it is here,
Yeah.
It's fascinating because so when I was working in Denver, a lot of my clients came from the local high school. And my brother went to the same local high school at the same time. Have I told the story here yet?
No.
Okay. So I literally was treating like half of Cherry Creek High School at the time. And yes, I said the name. And
well, you don't live there anymore. So
yeah, I don't live there anymore. And it's been years and years and years. You have no idea what year it was. Anyway, because that's important for confidentiality. But I was treating all these kids from that local high school. And my brother went there and it was just so funny because he would be like, oh yeah, I know that you're seeing so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. I was like, I never told you that. They told you that because teenagers like to talk and they were like just telling and they're like, oh my God, Brittany, Blake, I love your sister. I love her so much. She's the best, blah, blah, blah. And then there were a couple that were like, I fucking hate your sister. And I never want to see her again. And that's when you knew that maybe she needed someone who was a little softer. I wasn't a good fit. But it was really funny. I felt so kind of awkward. So like even when I went to his graduation, I had all like these old clients come up to me who were graduating, who I was celebrating them too. But like it was just it was wild. It was super weird. It was super weird.
It is weird. If we could use one word to describe it.
Yeah.
Weird.
It feels weird. It feels weird because like the time that we have in session is so sacred, it feels like, that the moment we see you out in the wild, it kind of takes, I think the same way that you feel maybe is how we feel. We're like, oh, okay, what do I do now?
How do I behave?
Is my hair okay? Is my top too low? Like, do I look like crazy? Like, yeah. Yep. I have a really random question, kind of going back to the OnlyFans piece.
Oh no.
Would you ever be a sex therapist?
No.
Why?
I just no. I don't know why. I would have to explore that deeper, but I know the answer is no.
I mean, I don't think you actually have to have more, like, no is a full sentence. It's fine. You can say no. I was just curious.
But I am curious as to why it's so no.
That would be interesting. Like, I remember, especially because I've always wanted to work with couples. And so, like, sex therapy was also something I was like, oh, that could be like really like amazing, because I know that people struggle so much with intimacy, and it's not necessarily about like tantric sex and teaching people how to like have sex, but like teaching people how to be more intimate and connect. And so I always thought about it. And then I went to San Francisco, or I don't know, just like something. And one of the girls I met out there was a sex therapist. And you know how expensive San Francisco is. And bitch was living like right on the park, like in this beautiful loft. And I was just, and she was maybe 26, because I think I was maybe like 24. So she was like 26 years old, living, and the person I was visiting was sharing an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment for $3,000 a month, just their own place. So like I was thinking like just their room, right? So then I was thinking about her. I was like, she has a whole fucking loft. This has to be like $10,000 a month. And she was a sex therapist, and I was like, maybe this is the career I should get into. What is she doing out there?
I mean, you're halfway there. You're working with couples.
I mean, I am, but now I just don't think it's my bag. I just,
I mean,
maybe when I'm older, I don't know.
What is a sex therapist? Like, they're not doing sex stuff.
Well, there is such a thing called a sex surrogate. Have you heard of this?
I have not, but
you can get context clues, right?
Yeah.
So, and they help people with dysfunctions and like, things like that, and like confidence. So like it's still like confidence building. And I think for sex therapists, not a surrogate necessarily, but just a therapist, I think it's the same thing. Like, because some people have a really hard time talking about sex, just learning how to have healthy conversations about it, talk about your fantasies, and just explore things that maybe you would never feel safe to explore on your own in session.
And I don't mind talking about sex in session, but I typically always relate it back to it, like the emotional safety.
Totally.
So is that what a sex therapist is doing? Is it talking about the emotional safety to get to that intimacy?
I definitely think that there's a component of that, but I think also emotional safety is different for men and women sometimes too. So like, like maybe if you're a sex therapist for a male, that maybe might not be the main topic. Maybe it's more about confidence, which I guess is the sense of emotional safety, but they may not use those words.
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of men, like, sex is more for men than women. Sex is a lot more about like attachment, or maybe that's me.
I think that's just your sex, girl. I don't think you're wrong. I definitely think that men are just as like, I think that men, like in society, we're made to believe that men don't maybe attach during like intercourse. And I think there's a part of that is true because men can compartmentalize better than women because of the way that their brain is. But do I think that they because it's true. There's like their brain chemistry is a little bit different than ours.
And I'm a oh my God.
Compartmentalist.
Yeah, I'm
but that's trauma.
queen at that. You're right.
Yeah.
So like,
So yours is trauma based off of your masculine energy
Right.
taking over.
right,
Their natural ability is to compartmentalize. Because if you think about like back in the day, hunter gatherer, I'm gonna go hunt this food. My only goal is to kill this buffalo. Like I gotta get this and bring this back to my family.
right.
Versus the women at home were like, I gotta plant the garden. I gotta take care of the kids. I gotta make sure my sisters are good. Like they just had to take care of so much.
caretaker.
Yeah. So they needed more
Emotional.
multitasking, like emotional connection.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily what's
Required
or natural
to men from
biological purposes. Yes, exactly. And then now we have society on top of it, the patriarchy, contributing to men only needing to like plant their seed and whatever. And I just don't buy it.
Right.
I think men can be just as emotionally connected and attached to what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
And if they really want you, a man's gonna fucking pursue you to no end.
Right.
And that will be in sexual monogamy as well.
Right.
Right. So I don't even know what your original question was, and I'm sorry I went on this whole tangent, but hopefully it was informative for somebody.
We're just gonna have a sex therapist podcast now?
Apparently now, well, I wasn't a sex therapist before, but now I am.
Now you are. Oh man.
I have 3 hours on a podcast and I'm a certified sex therapist.
Is there even like a real certification for that? Or is
Yeah, oh yeah.
really like a real one?
I mean, as real as a coaching That was so harsh. Please forgive me, coaches. Remember, I'm a coach too. Yeah.
Therapist first.
But a therapist first. Anyway.
Please, if you're gonna be a coach, have some training.
Sorry. Well, I just think you have to have training in order to understand how to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you can't just use your experience to like deal with someone else's stuff. Like you need to have some formal training.
Yeah.
So unless, and I think I said this last time, when I said it, I was listening, I was like, you have to have 10 hours, but I meant to say 10,000 hours with your own therapy. And I was like, I really hope people got what I really meant.
I did, because I just registered in that. I mean, yeah. But this, and you don't need to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars in training.
No.
Like, I don't know, like that new, like, trend right now is that reel. Like, I don't know how I did it. Don't ask me how I did it, but it was hard. Like, whatever that reel is, that whatever. So there's a lot of therapists right now posting like 60,000 for undergrad, 80,000 for postgrad, like 10,000
in continuing education.
Right. Yeah. And it's like paired with that, I guess, audio. But all that to say, like, I think times are shifting and a lot of people aren't even seeking that 2-year, 4-year post-grad degree.
Well, yeah.
And it's shifting to online stuff though.
Oh,
so they're still seeking education, but they're not seeking to spend so much freaking money on it.
Well, right.
Which someone freaking told me.
Well, at the time we were still promised that like we would have like we had a leg up. Is pretty much to me is how I felt. Like I would have a leg up if I got a degree and I would be able to like enter the workforce with at least, a better chance than if I didn't.
Right.
And now it's like totally not that, because I mean, if we want to just go down a spiral, we don't have to, but like the education system is just not what it used to be. Right. And you're not promised a job out of the gate. And for us, I spent like $100,000 in my master's program, and I was only able to make $40,000 when I left. Like, how in the world am I ever supposed to pay that? And so like, it's kind of funny because I was thinking about maybe in our last conversation, we were talking a little bit about money and like how we don't get paid as well or something like that. It was one of those conversations. And it's like, yeah, I don't think people really understand like what we sacrifice for this career because we love it so much.
Right.
Just kind of like a teacher. I mean, thankfully, I think we have more potential financial for earning potential than maybe a standard, high school teacher, because we could have our own private practices. We can get people to work underneath us and like all these things. but bitch.
And also, like, remember, like, you're not paying us for that hour, that 45 minutes. You're paying us for all those years and hours that we've put in
Yeah.
to perfect and to continue learning our craft.
Yeah.
It's so, like, you might look at the price per hour and be like, ooh, that's expensive. Again, you're not paying for that hour. You're paying for our expertise, our years of training.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, 3,000 hours just to get to be able to be in private practice or to have our license.
Right.
And that's just that part. That's like postgraduate work.
Right.
And that's not including everything else, which is, it's whatever, but it just is really interesting how I just don't think people understand, they see out of pocket expenses and like how hard it is to afford, because it is, to me, it is a luxury. Like, to have a therapist is a luxury. It's not something that's very normalized in community based cultures.
Right.
You don't really go outside to solve your problems. It's a very like individualistic sort of culture, luxury. But it's a luxury that's necessary, if
Yeah.
I'm honest.
Yeah.
Just like Charmin. Like, I really need Charmin. I'm not trying to use one ply.
Oh my God. I was like, are you talking about the toilet paper? And you were. You're gonna get the thing that's gonna get the job done right.
Right. If I'm gonna be in there, then it needs to be done
I'm
well.
gonna pay $2 for a roll. I'm gonna pay $10.
Yeah, because it's my body and I deserve it. I can get the cheap therapist down the road, or I can get the real deal.
Right. Right. But you're gonna spend more money on the cheap therapist
Over time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you'll waste more.
Right.
Whatever. Because they won't go deep like we did in our last episode.
Right. We're going deep.
We're going deep.
That's not a sexual innuendo. No.
I can't wait until we come up with the title for this one.
Oh my God. I don't know. Don't ask us. Don't. Actually, I would be really cool for, like, I wish we could do, like, maybe we could do like a live one day.
I've wanted to do that too. Somebody could call in and be like,
yeah. But we need more followers for that. So can you follow us?
Yeah. Follow us, share.
The Therapist After Dark.
Therapist with an S, two of us.
Yeah.
And share us with your like therapist.
Yeah.
Share us with your mental health professionals and stuff like that. If it's like, if it's something that you feel like you're finding value in. And if you're a therapist and you feel like this resonates, share us with your clients. We will say everything that you can't.
Right. 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 And don't throw us so much shade. No one, not that anyone's throwing us shade.
No one has. Everyone's really
like,
grateful.
Knock on wood, thank God. Like, you guys are so nice.
So nice.
Not that I would ever throw shade to someone on social media, because that's so pathetic. That was so hyper. I just threw shade, but like,
it's different because it wasn't directed towards anybody specifically.
But I really do appreciate that this isn't met with a lot of pushback. Like, I really appreciate that our listeners are open, and not critical and judgmental, which is really cool.
I'm just curious about why you were so afraid of that, because I'm
so critical and judgmental to myself, guys. Not to others. I'll be nice, not outwardly, but like,
oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's that imposter syndrome. Like, who the fuck are we?
We know who we are. We have thousands of hours to prove it.
That's true.
It's actually made me think of, as like, I feel like coaches, and I'm saying this with trepidation because since I'm a coach, I really don't want to have to be required to do this. However, I do think that coaches, specifically ones who don't have like another level of degree or whatever certificate, should definitely it should be like mandated that they have continuing education too.
Yeah.
Something.
I agree. Like,
that or your own coach or something. I don't know.
Like, there's people out here like willy-nilly coaching without any formal education.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And there's like there's nothing to keep them up with the times. Right. So they just keep, because I don't know if you saw, I forgot what it was called. It's called like Love. Oh shoot, I can't remember. If I can think about it, I'll say it again in another episode or something. But basically it was this couple, and they and this whole cult thing was on like HBO or whatever. But it's this couple, and they basically said that they could help you find your soulmate. And so these were just two random people. I think they're still operating today. And they were just pairing people with whomever. So like if you were a straight person, they'd be like, no, actually your match, your soulmate is actually this person in this body. And they're supposed to be they're masculine and you're supposed to be the feminine. So they would like make people change their like sexual orientation and preferences. Yeah, it was fucked up. This whole thing, like I cannot remember. If you know what it's called, please leave me a message. A message. Leave me a message. Leave it in the comments or something. But it was so wild that these people could get away with this and they're still in operation today.
I know what really fucking sucks?
Huh.
These people make more money than me.
Oh my God.
Fuck that.
So much more money. Oh my gosh. Just
This is
dripping.
why I need an OnlyFans. I'm so sorry.
And with that, we're done for the day.
If you find me on OnlyFans, you did it.
You did it. Bye.
I don't have one.
Yet.
We hope that you enjoyed the peek behind the therapy room curtain. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. Until next time, remember, life's a journey, even for your therapist. Take care and see you next episode.